show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Bass in your face. Bass in your face.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Latino Diaspora. For the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with this channel or are watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Latino Diaspora, because here we talk about issues pertaining to Latinos living in the United States. Okay. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube and Facebook. I also want to let everybody know that the subscriber mode has been enabled, meaning if you're not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to have subscribed to the channel. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who've already subscribed to the channel, as well as those who follow me on social media. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter in your devices and those who watch from the clouds, even the haters. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on a playback. So tonight's episode will be Latinos and faith. So basically, I'm just going to talk to you how faith plays a role in our lives. And of course, not just as far as Christianity, but also in other faith doctrines as well. But before we get into the main topic, we're going to have another episode of In My Words. So, of course, there's been a lot of talk in regarding the situation with Mayor Eric Adams being indicted of receiving gifts and bribes and things of that nature from the country. Actually, I'm going to be devoting a whole stream about it tomorrow night on the main channel. Now, one thing we have to bear in mind is that everyone, and I repeat, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Okay. And of course, there's been quite a few people, other politicians, who have requested that Eric Adams step down and resign. There also have been pressure placed on our Governor Kathy Hochul to force Eric Adams to resign as well. At this point, she's not contemplating that course of action. Now, again, one thing we have to bear in mind is that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. If Eric Adams should happen to be proven guilty, then of course, obviously, he needs to step down. Do I think he should run again for mayor? No. I think what he needs to do is he needs to finish up his term as mayor and then just prepare for his legal defenses and to give an accounting regarding what he did do or didn't do regarding these accusations. and some of them actually began when he was the um, borough president for Brooklyn. Of course, the other thing that has not had as much of an impact is the passing of Pete Rose. Of course, he's a controversial figure due to the fact that he was permanently banned from the Hall of Fame due to him gambling on baseball. Okay, and of course, he did admit his guilt. Okay, and of course, there's quite a few people who, for many years, felt that he does belong in the Hall of Fame. I'm gonna. One thing I'm gonna say is that if they're going to allow him in the Hall of Fame, then they need to allow all the other baseball players who've been banned from Major League under the Hall of Fame to the gambling. Okay, and gambling is considered a major cardinal offense um, against the sport. But yet you see, you know, people betting on baseball and things of that nature. So all I'm going to say is that there should be one standard for all. If they're going to allow him to return and become part of the Hall of Fame, they have to do the same thing to other baseball player who was found guilty or of gambling. The example is um, the Black Sox scandal of 1919, where it was alleged that several members of the Chicago White Sox, through the World Series, in order to gain money. I think at some point I'll need to have a stream regarding um, the White Sox scandal of 1919, and we can discuss it. In any case, we're going to get into the main topic. So, before I continue, let me just state for the record that the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to hit that link and express an opinion regarding the topic in hand, they can do so. Again, as always, let me just state that if I've never seen you before, or if I've never heard from you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage to make sure that no one tries to display any pornographic content or anything inappropriate which would cause the people on YouTube to take down their stream. Okay. Now, one thing when it comes to Latinos, we are influenced by faith in many ways. Okay. One thing we have to understand that at one time, um, the Caribbean, South America, Central America, and even large portions of the United States was under Spanish control. And of course, the main religion was Catholicism. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, hopefully. Now, this is an article which I'm going to share, comes from the Pew Research Center. Okay. This article was dated April the 13th of 2023. Okay. Among U.S. Latinos, Catholicism continued to decline, but it's still the largest faith. Okay, so let's just see what the article has to say. Excuse me. Catholics remain the largest religious group among Latinos in the United States, even as their share among Latino adults has steadily declined over the past decade, according to a new analysis of Pew Research Center surveys. By contrast, the share of Latinos who identify as Protestants, including evangelical Protestants, have been relatively stable, while the percentage of those who are religiously unaffiliated has grown substantially over the same period. As of 2022, 43% of Hispanic adults identify as Catholic, down from 67% in 2010. Even so, Latinos remain twice as likely as the U.S. adults overall to identify as Catholic and considerably less likely to be Protestant. Meanwhile, the share of Latinos who are religiously unaffiliated, describing themselves as atheists, agnostics, or nothing in particular, now stands at 30%, up from 10% in 2010 and from 18% a decade ago in 2013. The share of Latinos who are religiously unaffiliated is on par with U.S. adult overall. And I'm going to show you this graph, which shows the amount of Latinos who are Catholic, evangelical Protestant, non-evangelical Protestant, other faiths, and religiously unaffiliated. So as you can see, these are the figures, and they spread from 2010 to 2022. The demographic forces shaping the nation's Latino population has also impacted on religious affiliation trends. Young people born in the U.S., not immigrants, have driven Latino population growth since the 2000s. Among U.S. Latinos ages 18 to 29, 79% were born in the United States. About half, 49% Latinos in this age group, now identify as religiously unaffiliated. By contrast, only 1 in 5 Latinos ages 50 and older are unaffiliated, and most of these older adults, 56%, were born outside of the U.S. Overall, 52% of Latino immigrants identify as Catholic and 21% as unaffiliated. U.S.-born Latinos are less likely to be Catholic and more likely to be unaffiliated, according to a 2022 Pew Research Center survey of Latino adults. And here is some more statistical data. And as you can see, the age group is varied from 18 to 65 and above. Also, you can see those who are English dominant, Spanish dominant, and bilingual dominant, meaning those who are fluent in both English and Spanish. And then you see those who are foreign born, in other words, those that were born outside of the United States, as compared to those that were born inside the United States. And also as far as party affiliation. Protestants are the second largest faith group after Catholics, accounting for 21% of Hispanic adults. A share that has been relatively stable since 2010. During this time, Hispanic Protestants consistently have been more likely to identify as evangelical or born again than say not born again or evangelical. As of 2022, 50% of Latinos are evangelical Protestants a share that has remained relatively stable over the past decade. Latino evangelicals have received national attention recently due to the political activism of some evangelical churches. Interest in Latino evangelicals comes as white evangelicals have become the bulwark of support for Republican candidates in the U.S. presidential election and after election in which a rising share of Latino voters has supported Republican candidates. Let me just check and see. Okay. About 3 of 10 Hispanic Republicans identify as evangelical Protestants, a far higher share than the 10% of Hispanic Democrats who say the same. Latino immigrants also are somewhat more likely than US born Latinos to be evangelical. Evangelicalism is especially prevalent among Latinos with Central American origins, mirroring a pattern seen in those countries. Roughly 3 in 10 of US Latinos with Central American origins say that their evangelical Protestants are higher share than among those who roots in Puerto Rico and Mexico. Now I'm just going to go to the next paragraph. Another way of measuring religious change is to ask respondents how they were raised religiously and see how that compares with their current religious identity. Most U.S. Latinos say they were raised Catholic, while far fewer say they were raised Protestant, religious unaffiliated, or in other religion. All Latinos and those that were born outside the U.S. are especially likely to say they were raised Catholic. And again, there's another graph indicating those who are Protestant, those who are Catholic, those who are other faiths, and those who are not affiliated. And you see that it varies among the different age groups and also varies regarding those who are English dominant, Spanish dominant, and those who are bilingually dominant, as well as those who are born outside of the United States and those born in the US. But like Americans overall, many Latinos switch away from their childhood religion. As a result of 2022, 1/3 of Latinos adults indicate that their current religion is different from the childhood religion. Catholicism has seen the greatest loss due to religious switching among Hispanics. Nearly 1/4 of all U.S. Hispanics are former Catholics, while 2/3 of Hispanic adults say they were raised Catholic. 43% say they're currently Catholic, according to the 2022 survey. And for every 23 Latinos who have left the Catholic Church, only one has converted to Catholicism. And this is the statistical data we got. I apologize. It's that at times you have people who try to ring the intercom in order to gain access to the building. By contrast, the religiously unaffiliated have experienced the biggest gains. Fewer Latinos said they were raised with no religious affiliation than currently identify as unaffiliated. For every Latino raised without religious affiliation who has joined religion in adulthood, about 7 Latinos have left their child religion and become unaffiliated. Protestantism has seen modest growth due to religious switching among Latinos. For every 2 Latinos that were raised Protestant before converting to another faith or becoming unaffiliated, while 3 have converted to Protestantism in adulthood. In all, 18% of U.S. Latinos say they were raised Protestant, while 21% say they're currently Protestant. Catholicism has seen similar large losses among both US-born and foreign-born Hispanics. About 1 in 5 US-born Hispanics were raised Catholic and no longer identify as Catholic. This is due to 23% of foreign-born Hispanics. Disaffiliation from religion is somewhat more common among US-born Hispanics. About a quarter of US-born Hispanics say they were raised in the faith, but now are religiously unfamiliar compared to 16% of foreign-born Hispanics. And here is some statistical data. Hispanic evangelical Protestants express especially high levels of religious commitment. Nearly three-quarters say religion is very important in their lives. Non-evangelical Protestants and Catholics, Hispanics, are somewhat less likely to say that. And about three-quarters of unaffiliated Hispanics say religion is not too or not at all important in their lives. And here is some statistical data as well. Just going to give you an opportunity to observe. Most Latino evangelicals say they have prayed daily, while non-evangelical Protestants are about as likely as Catholics to do this, 55%, 50% respectively. Most Latino nuns seldom or never pray, though a substantial minority say that they pray at least weekly. Pentecostalism and other forms of charismatic Christian background influence in Latin America. A distinguishing characteristic of Pentecostalism is the emphasis of spiritual forms of worship, such as speaking in tongues. Nearly half of the U.S. Hispanic popular church group, Protestant church group, say the services include praying in tongues at least sometimes. They share even higher among Hispanic Protestants who describe themselves as evangelical or born-again Christians. Attending services where they pray in tongues is much less common among church-going U.S. Protestants overall. 4 in 10 mass-attending Latino Catholics say the services are at least sometimes involve praying in tongues, comparing to a quarter of U.S. Catholic Church overall. Now, in the Catholic Church, there is a movement called the Charismatic Renewal. And in the Charismatic Renewal, what it is it's a faith movement where, among things, Catholics pray and speak in tongues and also have certain manifestations of the gifts of the Holy Spirit. And this is a breakdown as far as praying in tongues. And then we're going to park it here. Oops. Good evening, Randall. Thank you very much for stopping by. And of course, we have Diti Juju. Thank you very much for your support. And let me just say, I know I do this, but I will continue to do this. Diti Juju does have her YouTube channel where she does produce some interesting content. At times it could be late. So what happened is most likely people catch it on the playback. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, we have not done so, show some love to our final Latina and check out her content and subscribe. So the topic for tonight is Latinos and faith. So basically what I'm doing is sharing how faith, is into it's touch Latino lives, and of course we all know that uh, there are many different faith systems and things of that nature. Okay, while a large proportion of the Latino population are still Catholic, there are others who are active in various different Protestant denominations. Some of them being evangelical, some of them being fundamental, also some of them um, belonging to what's called charismatic movements of things of that nature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share. Just give me a moment. Just bear with me because unfortunately my computer tends to run slow. Okay, I mean unfortunately this is YouTube, so me. I'm not going to be on long. I'm probably going to be on maybe an hour, maybe less. Okay. Okay. Now I can share Chicago. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Just give me a moment. And of course, a huge shout out to all those who are watching this stream live. Okay. And also those who will watch it on the playback. Now, Monday, I'm going to be doing another reaction video. Okay. The show, regarding trying to find the date, receive a balloon, and if they don't like the person that they're trying to, you know, meet, and what they'll do is they pop that balloon, and then they go to state the reason why. Okay, just give me a moment. Just bear with me. Okay, let's try and see. Okay, so if this image doesn't appear, what I'll just do is I'll go back to reading, um, because this is not going to be a 5 hour stream. Okay, so this is the an article from AP, which states among U.S. Latinos, Catholicism is still the largest faith. So let me just Excuse me. This. So I don't want to hear. Okay. Because I don't. I mean, no. This article was published on April the 13th of last year, and it's an article by Luis Andres Inan. Catholics remain the largest religious group among Latinos in the United States, but the number of Latinos who identify religiously unaffiliated continues to grow. Those who are among the key findings in a comprehensive report released by the Pew Research Center surveyed 7,640 US adults um, between August the 1st and August the 14th of last year. The report, which terms Latino and Hispanic interchangeably, found that Catholicism remains the largest faith group among Latinos in the US, even as the number of Latino adults who identify as Catholic steadily declined over the past decade. The number went from 67% in 2010 to 43% last year, which will be 2022. Still, the survey says that Latinos remain twice as likely to be as US adults overall to identify as Catholic and less likely to be Protestant. Latinos, especially those in the US, are still very faith-centered, says the Reverend Charles Carlos Velasquez, pastor of St. Bridget's, a majority Latino Catholic church in the area straddling Brooklyn and Queens in New York City, which consists of the Diocese of Brooklyn. Faith is a big part of people's lives in Latin America. And when they come here, faith is what grounds them, he says. The church helped them with the difficult transition of immigration when many are starting from scratch, he added. Latinos who are religiously unaffiliated describe themselves as atheist, agnostic, or nothing in particular are now about 30% of the overall Latino population. That's up from 18% a decade ago and 10% in 2010. The number of Latinos who are religiously unaffiliated is in line with what US adults overall, the report said. The religious unaffiliated, commonly known as the nones, are the fastest growing group in surveys asking Americans about their religious identity. Even though Latin, and I hate to use the term Latinx, but I'm going to read it anyway. Even though Latinx Americans may be, like other Americans, increasingly unaffiliated, that certainly doesn't mean that they're not non-religious, according to Elizabeth Dretcher, an adjunct professor at Santa Clara University who wrote a book about the spiritual lives of the nones. They may not be engaged in institutional spiritual religion for a variety of reasons, but they may still have a kind of classic religious measure of religiosity. I believe in God or a higher power, she said. The poll says that the demographic forces shaping the Latino population also have impacted religious affiliation trends. Among US Latinos ages 18 to 29, 79% were born in the US. Nearly half in the age group now identify as religiously unaffiliated, but only about 1 in 5 Latinos in 50 or older are unaffiliated. Most of these older Latinos were born outside of the US. Overall, 52% Latinos immigrants identify as Catholic and 21% are unaffiliated. US born Latinos are less likely to be Catholic and more likely to be unaffiliated, according to a 2022 Pew survey of Latino adults. Hispanic adults are almost strikingly unrepresented in Catholic schools and in the priesthood. Nearly one quarter of U.S. Hispanics are former Catholics, while about two-thirds of Hispanic Catholics say they were raised Catholic. 43% are currently Catholic, according to this survey. What's happening to Catholic Latinos in the U.S. is what's happening to Catholics all across the world, said the Reverend Felix Sanchez, pastor of St. Pius V, a majority Latino parish in New York's Jamaica, Queens, which is also part of the Diocese of Brooklyn. People are attending church less, he says. Young people are particularly less in their parishes. He cautioned against presenting Latinos as a monolithic group, though. It's not all the same to talk about an Argentine than an Ecuadorian or a Mexican. And it's not the same as first generation versus third generation, Sanchez said. We'll have different histories, traditions, and what unites us is that we understand each other because we share the same language. Each one has its cultural richness, and we have to respect that. I agree. Protestants are the second largest faith group after Catholics, the report says. They account to 21% of the Hispanic adults, a number that has remained relatively stable since 2010, while 50% of Latinos identify as evangelical Protestants. Latino evangelicals received national attention recently due to the political activism of some evangelical churches. The survey says the interest in Latino evangelicals common as white evangelicals have become a bulwark of support for Republican candidates in the U.S. presidential elections and after the elections, in which a rising share of Latino voters has supported Republican candidates. Republican candidates across the U.S. are seeking to expand recent gains the party has made with Hispanic voters from Florida to California, what seems to be the driving bread and butter issues in crime, struggling schools, as well as food, gas prices creeping beyond their paychecks needs. Oops. No, I'm sorry. Just give me. The report says that 28% of Hispanic Republicans identify as evangelical Protestants compared to 10% who identify as Democrats. Latino immigrants are slightly more likely than U.S.-born Latinos to be evangelical. Evangelicalism is especially prevalent among Latinos with Central American origins, mirroring the patterns seen in those countries. Roughly 3 in 10 Central Americans said they were evangelical Protestants, the report says. Among evangelical Protestants who are Latino have identified with the Republican Party or are independent, who lean towards the GOP, and 44% are Democrat or Democrat-leaning independents. Among Latino Catholics, by contrast, 72% identify as Democrats. Religious unaffiliated Latinos are also mostly Democrat. Most of the U.S. Latinos say they were raised Catholic. Far fewer say they were raised Protestant or religiously unaffiliated. Older Latinos and those born outside the U.S. are typically likely to say they were raised Catholic, the report says. Like all Americans, Many Latinos switch away from their childhood religion. It says, adding, one third Latino adults say their current religion is different from their childhood faith. Okay, so and we're gonna park it here. So as you can see here, we as Latinos, we share many different faith belief systems. Okay, well, many of us are Catholic, some of us are Protestant, also some of us are not affiliated by any religious group, and of course, some of us are atheists, some of us are agnostic. Okay, and it's the same thing in a lot of families. Okay, you'll see one or two people that are Catholic or belong to a different Christian denomination, while others um, are unaffiliated. Why I'm discussing it, because we all don't share many beliefs. We all, while there's some things I, definitely we share. Of course, we all share the fact that we all speak Spanish. Okay. However, our cultures are different. Okay. And one thing we have to bear in mind that Latinos that were born and raised in the Caribbean, which are Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, and Cubans, we have one different culture as compared to Latinos that were raised in Central America, as compared to Latinos that were raised in South America. Okay, so I just thought it was an interesting topic. Okay, um, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to wrap this up a little bit. Okay, I wasn't planning to keep this stream long because first of all, I do have two streams coming up um, on my main channel. Um, Tomorrow night, I'm going to be discussing the situation regarding Eric Adams and his ongoing legal difficulties and things of that nature. So what I'm going to be doing tomorrow night. I'll be discussing more length regarding what he is accused of doing. Okay, and then I'm going to give you my point of view. I'm going to say this, and I've said it before in the beginning of the stream, and something that has to be continued to be noted. He is innocent until proven guilty. Okay. Yes, the accusations that were raised against him are serious. The fact that it is alleged that he received tickets, hotel rooms, and other donations from other foreign powers, which started when he was the borough president of Brooklyn. Okay. And the amount is, we're talking about over $100,000. Okay. Again, oh, good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. So basically, I'm talking about Latinos and faith. So what I did was I was talking about the different faith systems which we all belong to. Many of us are Catholic. Some of us are Protestant, and then those who are Protestant, um, those who are evangelical, those who are fundamentalists, and also those who belong to what we call charismatic movements. Okay, okay, let's see. I'm trying to let's see if I can. Okay, I'm trying to see if I can make. You have to excuse me. I'm trying to see if I can, Rand, if I can make you a mod. For some reason, I can't do that. Um, let's see. Oops. Yeah, I mean that there are some that are Jehovah Witnesses. In fact, um, my ex sister-in-law uh, is a Jehovah Witness. Okay. Um, Now there is a different um, religious affiliation, and the reason why they're different is that first of all, it's a very select group. They okay. I'm gonna tell you, share with you what a little I know. Okay. They tend to live separate. They appear to be rigidly controlled by the Watchtower, and the Watchtower, that's the organization that governs the Jehovah Witnesses movement, and they dictate every aspect of their lives. And in fact, among the practices, they don't believe in celebrating Christmas, they don't believe in celebrating birthdays. Uh, they don't partake. No, I don't think so. Actually, Rhonda, I was trying to make you. I don't think she did. I don't think she did. Let me take a look. Just give me a moment. No, I don't think so. I think okay, Rhonda. I think she only entered one comment. Okay. It might be that she's working. Okay. It might be that she's working because I think she works at night. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't think so. But getting back, you see, with the Jehovah Witnesses, they believe only they are going to be saved and things of that nature, and also their version of the Bible is not accepted by any other Christian denomination. Okay, because it is perceived that they took it scripture um, to conform to whatever is they believe. Um, I think at some point I'll need to do a stream regarding the Jehovah Witnesses and as far as what it is that they believe. I do know that, like I said before, they don't believe in celebrating birthdays. They don't believe in celebrating gifts. They tend to be a very extremely close knit, close community. They really don't interact with anyone that's not in fellowship with them, and also as a mean of keeping their followers in line. What they do is um, they will, so to speak, this fellowship. In other words, kind of like excommunicate them for various different infractions. Um, I will need to do some research regarding the Jehovah Witnesses um, because I don't want to just speculate. I want to speak with facts. But in any case, I don't know. You know what? I think Randall, the next time I'm gonna try to make you a mod. Okay. Um, because one thing I appreciate my, that you do appear quite often in my streams, and I just want to know that I appreciate that. Okay. Because first of all, you could just easily support anybody else. The fact that you come over here and you support this stream, I really appreciate that. So, so I'm just gonna wrap this up by saying that, of course, um, we're not a monolith. We all have different belief systems, and even those who are so-called not religiously affiliation, they also have some sort of a code of conduct. Um, some of them will refer to themselves believing in a higher power, okay, and they try to govern themselves as with some sort of a moral compass. So, with that being said, I just want to say I really appreciate all those what with the comments in the chat. I also appreciate all those who catch this stream on the playback, and of course, all of you are more than welcome to opine regarding the topic itself. Okay, of course, I'm gonna ask you please keep it respectable. We can all disagree. Let's be agreeable when we disagree. Now, I'll probably my next stream on this channel will probably be on Tuesday, more or less around the same time. Okay. So, with that being said, I just want to say thank you very much for your continued support. Uh, Please spread the word. Um, like I said, it's a small channel, but it's growing. Okay. So, with that being said, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you very much. And we'll see you the next time. Take care and peace.
Be strong.